hickory-dickory-dock. Time to beat the clock. Time for fun is now begun. Let's all play Beat the Clock.
Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. For half a century, a quality name in incandescent bulbs, fluorescent tubes and fixtures, photo lamps, radio and television sets, radio and television tubes, and electronic devices. Yes, for homes, offices, schools, and factories, Sylvania.
Let's all play Beat the Clock.
And now, here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you're going to have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. Now, if you come over here with me, we'll meet our first contestants for tonight. Hello.
Hello.
Boy, we always do the most awful things to the gals on our show, don't we? They're so pretty, and they come dressed so pretty, and we stick them in those coveralls. Mr. and Mrs. Albert Stanko, S-T-A-N-K-O of Garwood, New Jersey. Is that right? Al, what do you do?
Group leader for Detroit Mold Engineering, Hillside.
I see. And how long have you folks been married?
8 years.
8 years today.
Today is your anniversary. Many happy returns. My goodness. Many happy returns to you, boy. Now, what have you got to show for those 8 years? Children, I see. 3 children, 1 girl, and twin boys. How old are the boys?
They're going to be 3.
3 years old. What do you know? And the girl is how old?
She'll be
6 going on
7.
6 going on 7.
7.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have a little something for that little girl, but for you to take home with you. But first, I'd like to do a little unfinished business from last week. We had some contestants that were supposed to come back this week if they could, and they couldn't come back. And the result was all we had to do was to award the prize. And so if you'll stand by right now, if they're watching, we hope they are, we'd like to show them what they won. Just take a look over here.
Sylvania Television proudly presents you with the incomparable Kensington console. Finished in mahogany, the cabinet is charmingly fashioned in French provincial styling. Sylvania's exclusive halo light surrounds the large 21-inch screen for the greatest viewing comfort in all television. The Kensington, available with built-in all-channel UHF, VHF reception, is a masterpiece in design and performance. Congratulations, Lieutenant and Mrs. Hall. You have just won Sylvania's Jackpot prize.
Yes, Miss Stanko, it's, you got that business out of the way, and now, let's see, you said your little girl is how old?
6 going on
She's
7.
6 years old. You suppose she's watching tonight?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's watching.
Do you?
She's watching.
You want to wave to her? You wave right in that camera with the lights on.
Hello, Diane.
Hello, Diane. Her name is Diane. Diane, you watch closely now, because I'm going to ask, before you get those around, girls, I want to ask Louise to come out, if you don't mind, with one of our little Roxanne dolls. This is for your little Diane. See there?
Thank
Isn't she
you,
kind of pretty?
Susan.
She's got a little camera that really flashes. See that? Really flashes. And you show them how she walks. Will you, Louise? You watch her walk now. See there? Her little head turns as she walks. Isn't that kind of cute? So that's for Diane, and we'll have that waiting for you right after the show. Thank you very much, Louise. All right, now, I want to ask you, I was looking over the top there. Will you roll up those cuffs of those a little bit? Because you're going to have to do a little moving around here in this first stunt on the $100 clock. And meantime, while you're doing that, I'll explain to everybody that our bonus tonight is worth $900. There were some people here, I'm sure, that thought I'd forgotten to mention our bonus, but we never try to forget it. And the bonus is worth $900 in cash tonight. To whoever happens to get it, whenever the bell rings, they're the lucky people that get a chance to try the bonus. Can be you, can be anybody on our show, okay? Let's try our first shot now at the $100 clock, and if you both come over here with me, I'll show you what it is. You also will know the reason why we put you out of your high heels, as I expect you wore, into those sneakers that we had here for you. Now, you notice around the stage here there are scattered 6 small boxes. You see them? And over yonder is 1 large box. Now, the object is to get all of these small boxes into the large box. Shouldn't be too difficult, should it?
No.
Except in the fantastic and rather fiendish way in which we have evolved for you to do it. And that is this. You are each to hold a foot. I don't care which foot. I don't care if you hold it cross you like that. Any way you want to do it. And hopping around on 1 foot and not letting the other one down, you are to kick them all over toward and finally into that box. Get the idea?
Yes.
Now, you must both work on an individual box. If you start on one, your wife can't help you with it. In other words, neither one of you can stand up by the box and just be sort of a relay guy or the others to feel them into. You both got to be working on a box all the time. Don't waste any time, and take a look and see how much time you have. 40 seconds from the time I say go. Do you understand the problem?
Yes.
All right, get your feet up. Get your feet up. Are you ready? Go. Foot up. Let it drop. Come on, 1 to go here. There's got 1 over there still. There it is over there. 1 more to go. You'll do it. You'll do it. tell you. We try not to make it easy, but we do try to make it fun, and that is kind of fun, I think you will admit. That wasn't too bad, was it, huh?
No.
You know, you turn out a well-balanced person when you get off this show. To some of the things we ask you to do, and that's gotten you through your $100 clock rather nicely now, and I hope you have enough kick left for the $200, but we'll find out about that in just a few. Mrs. Stanko, we have a problem for you on the $200 clock that I expect should be kind of fun for you. Now, of course, you have to go, as you know, from 100 to the 200 and move on up the line and just have yourselves a lot of fun. The clocks develop as you go along. Hey, boy, there's the bonus. For you. Come on out here, fella. Bring out the bonus, girls. Yeah. These are the bonus girls, and that's the bonus. All right, if you'll step right in the middle here. But have you seen this?
I got one of these home. I was practicing all week.
You got what?
I've got one home, and I've been practicing all week.
You have?
Yes, sir.
Did you break any cups and saucers?
One.
Just one? Is that all he broke? Was he using your good china? No. He wasn't. All right, boy, then you know, and I don't have to explain a thing except to tell you, for those who haven't seen it, to grab this down at the end, hold it in only one hand, get one ball in one cup over there, and by swinging, get the other ball up in the other cup over there. Do that within the allotted number of seconds, and you will win $800. That's an addition. Anything else? $900. Beg your pardon. I just shortchanged him $100. It's all right. Mind it in my own pocket. Take a look over your shoulder and see how many seconds you have. 45 seconds, boy, for $900. You ready? Go.
They've been practicing.
Well, now, you see, Mr. Stanko said something that is so very, very true. He said it was easy. He's been practicing it. That's very true. But you'd be surprised, Mr. Stanko, how many people have come up to me this week and said, you know, that new bonus, it's impossible. Can't be done. But every time when it is done, you realize how really basically easy it is, isn't it? What you did, of course, was you lowered that one, the one that you got the first ball in, you lowered that end to give yourself plenty of slack. And then it's just a matter of swinging the other ball up in. Everybody else kept that other end so high, and the minute they started to swing, boom, off went the cup. $900, boy, is what you won.
My brother-in-law will be done in 5 seconds.
Your brother-in-law will be doing it in 5 seconds? Well, he can do it, but it won't be worth $900. Okay.
He gets half of this.
He gets half?
Yes, sirree.
For sitting up there in the balcony? Sucker. Sucker. Well, in any event, I want to tell you, a check will be mailed to you by Sylvania, and the very next mail that we can get a check in. And I hope that whatever use you put it to, whatever deals you've made with it, it brings you nothing but happiness, boy, because you sure deserved it.
Thanks.
All right, congratulations again for beating our bonus stunt. $900. We start a new one next week. We love to start new ones. We now have a $200 clock facing you, so suppose you both come over here with me. You won't have to carry that out anymore, will you? Isn't that wonderful? Thank you very much. Now, here's an ordinary little wastebasket I'm going to place down here. Here are 2 little ordinary cylinders, and I'm going to ask you to get on this right over here, if you will, please, facing your husband. And I'm going to put these down on the floor, see, like that. Now, you watch closely what it is you have to do. Take your wife by the hands. I think probably the hands is the best way to sort of help balance each other. When I say go, you both get down on your knees. And at the same time, you pick up both of these cylinders so that they are between your knees, like that. Then, holding hands, you walk over this way, and you drop first one in the basket, then the other in the basket. We'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock. Now, if you drop either one at any time, the whole thing has to come right back to the starting point and start all over again. Do you understand what it is? All right, here's one cylinder. There's the other. Take a look at the clock. See how many seconds you have. 50 seconds. Okay, you ready? Go. Right down on your knees. That's it. Now, careful. That's it. Careful. 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 That's it. That's it. Oh, you didn't. Come on back. Gotta come back. Here we go. Gotta go through all that again. There they are. Okay. Then I get them spaced for you, so they're right. All right. You ready? Get set. Go. Did it before. Now be careful. Real careful. Don't let it go until you know you're there. Careful now. Get over it. There's one. There's the other. Congratulations. probably won't be able to walk tomorrow, but what do you care? You got $900 for beating our $200 clock, and comes now your turn, Mrs. Stanko, to try our jackpot clock. As you well know, that's the custom for the wife to do it. Now, Albert, if you stand right down over there, you can't help your wife in any way except by holding good thoughts. You step up on this platform and turn around and face the audience, if you will, and don't turn around again until I tell you to. Back of you is our famous our jackpot board, and on it are all of the words of a famous saying or quotation. They're all held there by magnetism. They're all mixed up and out of order. You get them back in order, so they spell out the saying or quotation in 20 seconds from the time I say go. We'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock. Now, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. Put it back where it'll read like a sentence. Hurry up, you only got about 6 seconds. Hurry up. Oh, golly, I'm sorry. You're on the track of it, too, because you knew what it was. That which you can do today. Never leave till tomorrow. That which you can do today. But, boy, you've done all right tonight in any event. You've beaten our $100 and $200 clocks, and you have also, of course, beaten our bonus for $900. So on the $200 clock, let's see what you've won.
And here is your prize, the sensational Kenmore infrared range, one of the most beautiful and modern ranges in America. With the Kenmore, sold exclusively by Sears Roebuck & Company, you will actually cook with infrared rays, harnessed by the amazing Sylvania Instant Heat Cooking Unit. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Stanko. In addition to your bonus prize, you have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
Right, congratulations to you, too. Oh, you should wrap that up. Louise, who do we have now?
Mr. and Mrs. Floyd Carruthers from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much, Louise. Mr. and Miss Carruthers, how are you? Nice to have you here with us tonight. Floyd, how are you?
Just fine, sir.
Good. My good. Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. What's that near?
Pittsburgh.
Near Pittsburgh. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a bricklayer.
See, and you've been married, I noticed, 2 years. No children?
No.
Any dogs or cats or pets around the house?
No,
Or little
I'm afraid
parakeets
not.
or anything like
We
that?
live in a trailer, so there's not much room.
Oh, boy, there certainly isn't. How do you happen to live in a trailer? Is that, you happen to like it that way, or?
Yes,
Well,
we like it
did you
very
have a
much.
problem getting an apartment? I didn't know whether you might have...
No, we didn't have a problem. We just happen to like trailers. A friend of ours sells them, and they live in it,
When you go on
too.
your vacation, you just pack up and take your house with you, don't you?
Well, you can, but we haven't yet.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to get away once in a while, live in something else for a bit. Well, we'll find out what your problem is pretty quick on the $100 clock, but having just welcomed you, if you don't mind, I'd like to welcome 2 new friends that we have on this network, as a matter of fact. Station WD-TV in Pittsburgh and station WKZO in Kalamazoo, Michigan, joining our show tonight. And boy, are we glad to have you with us. We just hope that from week to week, as you play these games along with us, that you'll enjoy being with us as much as we enjoy having you with us. WD-TV in Pittsburgh and WKZO Kalamazoo, a warm welcome to you. Mr. and Miss Carruthers, will you both come over here with me, please? Now, Miss Carruthers is going to ask you to stand right in back of that line, facing that drum, if you will. Right in back of that line. See it right there? That's the one, that yellow line. And you, sir, if you will stand in back of that line over there, I'm going to take one of these drumsticks with me, and here is the drum. See? Bass drum. Bass drum. Now, this bass drum, I can bounce these off this bass drum, and I assume that you can catch them in one hand. Try. There you are. That's all you have to do. Your wife is going to bounce them from where she is onto this, and all you have to do is catch 4 of them in one hand. You may not use the other hand. Understand? They must all 4 be held in the one hand. We'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock, okay? Betty will stand here and supply them to you. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 45 seconds. Are you ready? Go. Whoop. You can't trap them against your body. You must catch them free. That's it. Whoop. There's 2. There's 3. 1 to go. Up. That's one way to beat the drum, isn't it, huh? Now, if you'll come back over here with me, you're going to move up now to the $200 clock. And, boy, for a minute there, I didn't know you were going to get him on the drum at all. It's a silly way to beat the drum, I must. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers, we just got Floyd all decked out here, and Mrs. Carruthers says she knows what's coming. Let's see if she does. This is something for well-balanced people. Will you both come over here with me, please? Let's bring out our laboratory for well-balanced people, if you will. There we are. It's a nice laboratory, isn't it, huh? Two pretty girls. Now, you, sir, if you'll step in there and have a seat, Betty will get you all fixed up. Miss Carruthers, will you come over here and climb this ladder for me? That's it. You may find when you get up there that you'll want to sort of kneel in there. If you do, it'll kind of steady you, and you'll feel a little more comfortable. How's that feel, all right? Okay. Now, your problem is simply this. We have here a scale, and you notice it tips the other way, you see? And in the scale here, we have a number of little ping-pong balls. Now, I'm going to give your husband one of these ping-pong balls and ask him to hold it. And when I say go at the very start of the stunt, you ought to place that ping-pong ball in between your lips or your teeth. I don't care where. In your mouth, any way you want to. Because your wife is going to lower that scale by adding weight to it. When it gets low enough, you are to, let the ball go out of your mouth into this scale. Get the idea? Once you get one ping-pong ball on that side of the scale, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. Now, how do you weight it down? You weight it down with these little sparklets filled with whipped cream that we've prepared for you. And all you have, you know how to aim them? See, it comes out here. Sort of hold it in the hand like that. That's the idea. You can tip it then and get it, and you press against that, and it comes out. See? Now, let's take a look at the clock first. Don't start till I tell you to, and see how many seconds you have. 35 seconds from the time I say go. You know, this little scale reminds us of the old picture of Justice, you know, with the scales. But Justice was blind, so we're going to blindfold you. If you don't mind, step down again from there, and we'll get you all set, help you up again. Madeline will get the blindfold on you as quickly as she can. There we go. Just get the blindfold on. That's it. And I'll direct the shot for you, if you want to call it. Can you see anything?
No.
Is that pretty snug now? Huh? Okay, all right. Up the steps now. We'll help you. 1, 2, one more, and then you kneel. Now kneel. That's it. There you are. There's your sparklet right there. Got a hold of it? Hold it the way I showed you to now. Kind of tilt it like that. That's the idea. And I'll tell you whether to tilt it up or down or turn it to the right or the left. Got the idea? All right, 35 seconds to tilt it down so we can get a ping pong ball in it. Are you ready? Put the ping pong ball in your mouth, sir. Hold it there from now on. Are you ready? Go. Oh, down lower. Down lower. Lower. Higher. 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 Up higher. Okay, now I want to take it off my hand here just a little bit. Okay, come on. Matter of fact, you're the only one that went scot-free. You got everybody full of whipped cream. Look at me here. All right, Louise, would you come out with one of your Sylvania flashbulbs and take a picture of this so they'll have a record of it for all times in the future? There we go. How do you like that? All right, huh?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Now, if you'll step back over here with me, Mrs. Carruthers, we'll get set for you. Your chance at the jackpot clock. Now, if you step right up here and to turn around and face the audience, and I'll tell you when to turn around again. Don't do so until I tell you to. In back of this curtain now is our famous jackpot clock, and on it are all of the words on the board there, at least, are all the words of a famous saying or quotation, all mixed up. You get them back in order, so they spell out the saying or quotation in 20 seconds. Now, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. Steady. I'll get it for you, don't worry. Got one wrong. Got one wrong. No, 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 no. All right, stop the clock. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Move up and down there. All right, come on over. Step right in there, if you will, because you beat my jackpot clock. So let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
Sylvania Television proudly presents you with the incomparable Kensington console. Finished in mahogany, the cabinet is charmingly fashioned in French provincial styling. Sylvania's exclusive halo light surrounds the large 21-inch screen for the greatest viewing comfort in all television. The Kensington, available with built-in all-channel UHF-VHF reception, is a masterpiece in design and performance. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers. You have just won Sylvania's jackpot prize.
My congratulations to you, too. You'll find your husband safe and sound. That's it. Oh, dear. You know, that brings me to mind something. I don't know if any of you folks saw one. I shows you the hazards of this business. One night we had a woman who didn't know how to work that particular kind of a little squirt bottle. So I showed her very carefully. And I stepped back, and she said, I still don't understand this. Do I press this? And it was aimed right at me. So we've had our times on the show. All right, Louise, who are our next contestants?
Here's Mr. and Mrs. Joe Forstrom from Riverton.
New Jersey.
Thank you very much. Joe, how are you, boy? And Mrs. Forstrom, it's certainly nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Boy, you glad you weren't out here with that blue suit. You'd have had it like I had it there. Nothing to what he had, though. Riverton, New Jersey, and you are a sales correspondent? How long have you folks been married?
A year tomorrow.
Another anniversary. Well, bless my soul. Many happy returns to you folks. Congratulations. Let's give them a hand and let them know we're all happy for them. Now, Joe and Mrs. Forstrom, our first stunt for you on the $100 clock is for your wife, Joe. So if you don't mind, I'll take her away from your side for just a minute, promising to return her later. Come on over here, Miss Forstrom, if you will, and step into that little circle there. You see, that is your area of operation, but you face over there where you'll see that Betty is placing some hat boxes. As soon as she gets them all set over here, there we are. She's got an eye like an eagle, hasn't she? I tell you. Now, thank you very much, Madeline. I want to show you what happens. You stay there, and I'll stand up here to show you. We have a boxing glove on the end of a string. Now, if you start to swing this around your head like this and gradually let it go out further and further, you can ultimately knock those hat boxes off there, you see? And that's what we want you to do. Remaining in that circle, knock those hat boxes off there one at a time. If more than one at a time goes off, we have to stop and reset them. So it must be first the top one, then the next one, and then the next one. And we'll stop the clock and you'll have beaten it. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds. Are you ready? Go. Try to swing a flatter circle, not so fast, you'll never do it. That's one. That's one. Watch it now, you're getting a little low there. Oh, no. You have to go off the top, one at a time. Off the top, one at a time. That's the girl. There we are. Okay, start again. You ready? Go. Easy now, easy. Too many off. Got to go one at a time. Just one at a time. It's just one of those things, as the old song goes. It's all right. I'm enjoying everything tonight. Okay, are you ready? Go. Still got time. Wait a minute. Once you get it untangled, hold the clock. Ready? Go. Easy. Easy. Not quite so fast. And a flatter circle. There's one. Oh, you got two. Sorry, it's got to go one at a time. Must go one at a time. That's it. Ready? Go. Don't swing the circle so much down in front. Make it go flatter around. There's one. Now easy. Watch it. There's two. One to go. That's a goal. Good ball. Okay, now you've gotten through the $200 clock. The next that's left for you is, or is that the 100? That was the 100. This is the 200 coming up. 200 coming up, and of course that means we'll have more for you in just a minute. But right now, all right, now, Mr. and Miss Forstrom, Riverton, New Jersey, we have a problem for both of you. Will you both come over here with me, please? Thank you very much. Now, Miss Forstrom, I'm going to ask you, if you will, to stand right up here. I want you to operate in an angle sort of like that, if you don't mind. So face just about in that angle now. And you stand facing your wife the opposite side of the pole. That's it. Now, I'm going to place on top of this pole where we have placed a little cardboard platform, 2 cups and 2 saucers stacked up like that. I'm going to try to get them fairly well centered over the pole so your balances should be pretty good. There we are. Now, if you will take a hold of this rope right here, you take a hold of this rope right here, not up on the tape, but just below it. Now, hang on to that and don't let it drop. Got it? Okay, now when I say go, using only the one hand, you are to each, at the same time, start sliding down your respective cords, backing away or anything you want until you get to the first of these 2 knots that are tied in this rope. You understand the problem? Take a look and see how many seconds you have, but don't drop the cups in looking. 55 seconds. Are you ready? Go. Keep a little tension on that rope. Keep a little tension. Oh, golly, our time is up. What a place to stop. What a place to stop. Now, look, our time is up. that means, of course, I'm sure you have one of these lying around the house. You can practice at home. Can you come back next week? How about you, boy? Can you come back? Well, good enough. We'll see you then. You'll be our first contestants at that time. Practice all week. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed being with you. This is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production, produced in association with the CBS Television Network. Louise King's Gone, a Junior Sophisticate original. Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. This is Vern Bennett reminding you to tune in every week at the same time for Beat the Clock.